Hi, and welcome to Educational Tutorials. Today I'll be giving you 5 ways that can help improve your computer's performance. Now, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have some improvement shown on your computer and your computer will run more smoothly and efficiently, and let's get started. Now, the first way is disk cleanup. So go to your start menu, search up disk cleanup. Sorry. There we go. Just clean up right here. I don't know what happened. So go here and it will calculate how much space you can free, and it might take a few minutes to complete because it's finding out which files are good to delete. And it says here you can free up to 3.31 GB of the space in total, like if you delete all these probably, but that's not a very good idea because some of them might be important. So just leave the ones that are checkmarked and delete them. Don't unnecessarily checkmark everything. Just click clean up system files, and your disk cleanup will slowly clean up unnecessary files, and you'll free up some space, hopefully improving your efficiency on your computer, because now you can store more information and you'll have less useless information, which will help you in general. And I'll speed this till the end because this may take a few minutes to finish. Now, as you can see, it finished deleting unnecessary files or whatever you had, and you can close it and you're done. The first step. Now the next tip or way to improve your performance is through Task Manager. Let's go to Task Manager. You right click here, by the way, if you didn't know. So you open this up and click Task Manager, and you go to Startup, and these are all the applications that load up when you boot your computer up. They're like the first ones that come up, and you can see that like CCleaner, iTunes Helper, Skype, they all come up. Now you can get rid of CCleaner because you don't really want it. You don't need it to start at the very beginning. I mean, you can have it if you want, but yeah, like you don't need iTunes, you don't need Skype, so you may as well get rid of these. But like I like fast because you don't need you don't need OneDrive either, I think. So you can delete all the ones that you don't need, that you don't really care about, because a lot of these occur, and like I actually have quite a little bit, but a lot of people have a lot, and like they create a lot of performance issues by having a high startup impact. As you can see, some of them are high. Like Skype is high and I don't need it, so I can just get rid of it. And to end the task, you just click disable and you're done. And then you click enable if you want it back. So it's pretty simple actually. So just enable or disable. Like they're all enabled, but you can disable them, and that'll help you, and that'll improve your performance speed, because now your computer will not need to boot up as many applications, and it'll take a shorter time for it to boot up and start running whatever it needs to run. Now the next tip or way is through Wi-Fi. So when your computer starts up, it has to run and look for your DNS server, and so this actually takes time and like energy for the computer. So you can decrease the amount of energy needed by giving it a DNS server that it can automatically go to, because usually it just has to find it itself. But if you give it one to just go to all the time, like the very beginning, it will help it out. So go to your Wi-Fi here and right click it, open Network and Sharing Center, click your Wi-Fi, click Properties, click the Internet Protocol version 4 and click Properties. And here you can see obtain IP address automatically and obtain DNS server automatically. Just click on the box, use the following DNS server address, and type in like a Google one. This is Google 888.8.8.8.4.4, and then click OK, click close, open it up again just to make sure open it up again to make sure it's saved and nothing, it didn't get deleted and you have to do it again. And yeah, save. So yeah. So now you'll save some energy the computer has for other applications and stuff it might want to do instead of finding the DNS server, because now it can just look at it and it's there. It's much easier for it. Now the next method, tip, way to improve your performance is CCleaner. So you can open up CCleaner. Yeah, and so this will come up and you have to download this, and I'll put a link to the description for where you can download it. And this will find any files that aren't really useful and they will just delete it. It's kind of like what the temporary files are, but I'll also get into that later soon. Like, you may have seen that in my last video, but I'll get into that soon. And so this does something very similar. So it'll find files that your computer isn't really using, doesn't need, and it'll delete them for you. You can also uninstall programs for you too if you want, but I mean, if you want. But I recommend looking over these first, because as you can see, it'll delete your internet history and stuff, so you might want to be careful before you actually run it and not just analyze and run automatically. Just want to be a little careful, like maybe you don't want to delete your download history on Microsoft Edge. I don't know what you have on your stuff, but like you probably have information you don't want deleted, so be wary of this. You can also go to the registry and scan for issues and fix the issues, but it'll put them into a file. I mean, you can just delete that file too if you want, but yeah. And so CCleaner is pretty useful. I won't delete anything now because I didn't actually get rid of the history options. Like, I have to untick this and a few others, but like, yeah. Hopefully this program can help delete some unnecessary files, and that'll help improve its efficiency. Now the last method or step or way to improve your performance speed is divided into 3 things, because I don't feel like they're all worth one. So I split them up to like a half, a 0.25 and another 0.25. So yeah, and the first one is temporary files, which I covered in my last video, and I will do it again here. So in my last video I talked about how prefetch and temp are both files, but prefetch is actually useful and temp isn't. If you want to watch, I explained why prefetch is useful in my last video, but today I'll just be talking about temp. So you go to your menu, search up run, and then put prefetch is already here, click OK, make sure you type it if you don't, and you'll see all these files that you do not need. You don't need any of these, just delete them. Like, damn, a lot. 260. So just Control A or Command A, I think, if you have a Mac, and click delete and delete. Now some of them won't delete because maybe you're using them at the moment, or maybe for some other reason. So just skip do this for all click the do this for all current items box, and then just skip. And like most of them will get deleted. Out of 260, 258 were deleted, 2 were remaining. So it's pretty, like, it's not going to do much. So now what people usually mistake is, oh look, I've deleted my files, I'm done. Like, yeah, sweet. No, it's not deleted yet. You have to go to your recycle bin and delete from there too, because anything you delete from anywhere just goes to your recycling bin. So in case you want to recover it, maybe you accidentally deleted something, it'll be in your recycling bin so you can recover it. Not everything goes here, but most things do. Like everything I just deleted there, all those 260 items. So I'll Control A here, Command A if you have a Mac, I think, and here I have 274, a little more because I've deleted a few recent stuff. So just delete, and I want to delete these. They're permanently deleted, so delete. Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're deleted. As you can see, they're gone. So yeah, now you've deleted them all, and yeah. The next 0.25 is defragging. The only reason this is a 0.25 is because your computer actually defrags itself like every week. Here you can see you can change the settings to like every day, like daily or monthly. So that's the only reason this is a 0.25, because the computer does it itself. It's just if you want to do it manually, you can. You just click this, click optimize, and it defrags. So yeah, so that's the reason why this is a 0.25. And yeah, see, you're done. You can also change this to daily if you really want to. Mine's gonna stay weekly. Just don't keep it monthly. That's too long. Well, there's no point having it monthly. Now the last point to fi is your battery performance. So like right click here and search up power options. And make sure you're on high performance, because this may use more electricity, may use more power, but it improves your computer's performance speed. That's why it's called high performance. Don't use power saver unless, I don't know, you're at like 20% and you don't have your charger with you for some reason, you're out somewhere. I mean, yeah, that's a good reason to use power saver, but other than like that, I guess. So the first one I went over was disk cleanup. The second one was task manager. The third one was the DNS. The fourth one was CCleaner, and the fifth one is broken into 3 parts, which were temporary files, defrag, and power options. So that covers up everything, and if you do want to still improve it and you want to spend money, because all these are just free methods, you could buy yourself some more RAM, so that'll give you more memory and your computer can access RAM faster. I also talk about that in my previous video if you want to look at it. And so you can buy more RAM, or you can buy an SSD, a solid state drive, which will help improve your computer's startup performance and other stuff. So you can get those, but those actually cost money. So if you don't want to spend money and you want to improve your computer's performance, I suggest you try those 5 tips. Thanks for watching, and bye.